Okay, I have to re-record this video. I'm gonna make it considerably shorter. I'm gonna probably be more clearer in this second version because I guess I got screwed over. My previous recording had double audio, but I just want to open this up by saying free Palestine. This is not gonna be nothing else. It's not gonna be about nothing else but Palestine briefly, Sudan and Congo at the same time. I might get censored for this. It doesn't really matter because I don't really have much of a platform to lose. I literally only have 61 subscribers at the moment. This is gonna get published on my YouTube. If I can find a way to break it up into chunks, I'll put it on my Instagram because I definitely have more traction there. But otherwise, where do I even begin? I guess we can start off with what I'm gonna talk about. So let's actually start off with the two topics that are not the main top, well, the two subtopics of this video, Sudan and Congo. So as for Sudan, basically the vice president and the current president have basically begun to bump heads with each other. I understand. From my perspective, I think that's what's going on. And because of this, they have basically started to wreak havoc all across Sudan. And they are causing so much harm, killing civilians around them, destroying cities. Well, not cities, but like small villages or small cities, actually, small towns, rural locations, simply just to get their point across between one another and to gain political power. Political power is something that I guess humans really do love, and like they yearn for that all the time because we seem to always have a conflict with political power. It's really crazy how selfishness can cause the death of so many people on such a large scale. I don't even think I have the number. I don't think I even have the number for the amount of people that are dying in Sudan. And it's even worse. I think it's like 9 to 100, like, I think it's 9 to 90 million people in Congo. Um, I think it's really hard to understand that much of people dying, right? Because 90 million is ridiculous. I think it's 98.7. I might just be pulling numbers out of my ass. When I edit, I will be putting up numbers for this. I will be like putting up my sources for things that I say offhand because I'm not researching any of this beforehand. It's more of me being informed by the social media and people with actual information who take their time out of their day to be professionals and really put on a brave face in order to speak up about things like this. Not even because of their friends, but we can actually get into that after Congo. So Congo, there's a material or mineral, cobalt, I believe. I think that's what it is. And big electronic companies use them, such as Apple, Samsung, Microsoft, I believe, maybe, yeah, HP. I think that's under the same guys. Anyways, they are basically funding mining companies to exploit children in Congo, and not only that, but the mining companies and the employees there, or those who are forcing themselves into Congo, they are raping women at an insane rate. I think there's like one every hour. No. There's like I think it's one a minute. I actually don't know the number. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, that's a thing. So right now, as I breathe, there's a woman probably being raped in Congo, which is icky coming from my perspective, especially being a SA victim as a child. But you know, it's really hard to accept something like that, right? But for some reason, nobody is speaking up about it, and I do often to my friends actually. I would. This is my first time making a public video to YouTube, but it's not my first time making a public video at all. I think I've made hundreds of videos in my Snapchat alone, trying to inform them, my people in my close circle, just posting and trying to keep people updated about the stuff that I do know and what there is to be worried about, because I feel like it's better to be an informer rather than being uninformed. Right here is a PDF with lists of debunking, and not like it's just a whole lot of it's a booklet, it's a PDF, and it's filled with evidence against Israel's lies and their issues about Palestine, and that's our main topic here. So I want to get into Palestine. We've spent 4 minutes talking about Congo, Sudan. We're probably going to spend even more about Palestine. So Palestinian children are being killed, and Palestinian women, children, men, teenagers, anybody who is in Gaza and or the West Bank right now are being bombarded, killed and displaced. The displacement is really the hugest part of this. That is something that we really need to acknowledge, because displacement is forcing people out of their homes and forcing them away from food sources, forcing famine and sickness to get to them at vast rates. And then upon the displacement, they will not even allow them to return home. They will not allow them to have any freedom. They will not allow them to have anything. And I mentioned this to my friends at some point. It's a conflict of religion if you want it to be, but it's a lie for you to believe in that. It's not a religious conflict. If it were to be a religious conflict, we would see that. But no, they are targeting, bombing, and straight up just destroying Gaza and the West Bank in order to actually acquire more land. It's actually insane. They're doing it for more political power. You'll see that as a growing trend around here. Yeah. Corrupt leaders love their power and they love their money. So what they're doing right now is that they are bombing Gaza and forcing Hamas, which is a resistance group. Let no one else tell you what it is, because it is a resistance group. If they disagree with that statement, they are wrong and they are disgusting for trying to call them terrorists. Right? And even if they were terrorists, they make up a very small percent. They make up a super small percent of the residents living in Palestine, period. Right? And if this were to be a religious conflict, this would have already ended a long time ago. What do I mean by that? If this was a religious conflict, they would have already gotten together and would have stopped bumping heads, and they would already have a governmental body be able to agree with each other about what land they should have and what land they shouldn't have. But ever since 1948, especially after the U.S. gave them military power, Jews who settled under the name of Gaia, the name of Zionism, so they're not Jews, honestly. They're really just people with corrupt beliefs who believe that they're Jewish, right? And these people, after the horrible events of World War II, decided that they were going to need some land. And America agreed with that and gave them land in Jerusalem, which is a city in Palestine, right? But right now it's in Israel. But Israel is not a real place from my perspective, because it is a settler place. Ever since Israel has been settled, it was always an occupation. No one who has lived in Palestine since 1948 has ever gotten a break, has ever been happy or comfortable with these other people living amongst them and having everything that they cannot. The fact that we have extremely disproportionate levels of medical care for Israel, right? And mind you, our taxes, I don't pay taxes yet, so your taxes if you're an adult, our taxes are what's funding this war. And that's very insane, because their money also funds, well, our money also funds them to have free healthcare. And you know, in America, we can get a fucking Band-Aid for $2,000. That's a growing joke. It's been a joke for a couple of years, but honestly, it's not that far from the truth. Insurance is a requirement if you want to be able to have medical attention, but you can have medical attention for free in Israel. I want you to get that through your head. We have been sending them millions, actually billions of dollars and military support and funding for literally everything, but we have not allowed anything to get into Gaza or the West Bank or Palestine, period, in order to support Palestinian people. I could tell you how they're demonizing and trying to call every single resident of Palestine terrorists and saying that they need to be exterminated, but that's no different from what a Nazi in 1948 would have said, or Nazi Germany. I would say 1945. It's a better time period. 1945 would have said. It's nothing better than that evil guy Adolf Hitler would have said, and with his 6.4 million kills under his belt. And that it's honestly crazy that people are trying to compare those who support Palestine, right, to that guy, rather than turning a blind eye to Ben Netanyahu. Is that his name? Benjamin Netanyahu? Is that his name? Leader of Israel, right? And this man is just sick. What I have in front of me, right, this booklet, I am scrolling slowly. I have it on auto scroll, and I am leaving it here in order for you to read anything that you want to read as it scrolls. It might be too fast, it might be too slow. Please be patient with me, because I have yet to edit this video at this time, so I don't know what this is going to look like. We are now 9 minutes and 30 seconds into this, and I don't think there's enough for me to stop with. I've only gone through the basic rundown. The displacement of 2.3 million people is going to lead to them dying. Not by the bombs, but the carpet bombing is the least fucked up part. It's the intentional part that we are being able to see. But they have cut off their telecommunications and their ability to access networking, their abilities to live in homes. They have tried to legally bar them from no, I think they have succeeded in legally barring them from collecting rainwater while forcing them to live under plastic and cloth tents on dirt and land, leaving for no room to eat. They have no food to extract from these places anymore. People are going to die from famine or sickness, or a combination of both. They have destroyed their medical locations, any form of hospital, any form of paramedic, any form of anesthesia, anything that can aid in a surgery or anesthetics has been reduced to rubble and ash. Not only that, but the reduction of rubble and the displacement of people is just insane. The amount of people who have died is too much for me to even fathom from such a small number, yet I have been unable to shed a tear. And some people who support Palestine also feel guilt. They feel guilt, and it's fine to feel guilt, but I don't feel guilt and shame. I feel rage. I feel rage and solidarity. I can understand to a certain extent because my people have gotten their cities destroyed and erased from existence. Our ethnicities and our money's cleansed from the world just because of white people in power being upset at us being able to settle under a guise of freedom, happiness, and building our own culture. They've tried to suppress black people for a long time, and that's why if I see you as a black person going against Palestine, I find you as a disgusting human being, just off the fact that you lack sympathy for somebody who also is going through something that you would have been going through a similar time period ago. 75 years. 75. It's actually around 70s. Actually, let me do the calculations in my head. Give me a second. It's 76. 76 years. That took me longer than I wanted to do, but at least I have the ability to do basic math. Some children don't even get to go to school. They actually won't. Actually, a lot of children won't be able to go to school. Children who have been newborn babies or 1 to 3 years old have not been able to escape the bombardment and will not be able to grow up. They won't be able to have futures. But, Israel is defending themselves from Hamas. Hamas is not only taking care of their hostages, right? Their hostages. They've been taking care of their hostages, giving them basic care, basic treatment, and they even left them unharmed. But you know what they did to the Palestinian hostages? They killed them, they starved them, and they beat them. These people are cruel and unusual. The way that they are handling this is not only criminal from a moral standpoint, but from an international standpoint. There's no place that would agree with such a behavior, such manners of terrorism on camera in front of other people and in such torture of human beings, unless they were Nazis from Nazi Germany, the same people who were exterminating Jewish people. It's crazy how close you are to the very same thing that you try to denounce, Ben Netanyahu. I hope that you are able to sleep, because whatever God that is coming from you, may it be Allah or God, or any God from Hinduism or Buddha himself, if there is any religion that you believe in, I promise to you that you will not be making it to their so-called good afterlife, or their good karma, or their good anything, because you are a horrible person, a terrible individual. And anybody who supports Benjamin's behavior, you are not only encouraging the murder of innocent children who have never been able to even experience education, but you are encouraging the murder of people, period. I hope you understand that killing people is never the resolution or the solution for anything that you want to do. But people don't want to speak anymore. People don't want to agree anymore. And people who do not want to boycott, let's actually talk about the boycotting now. Because I think I could go on and on for hours actually about the atrocities committed in Palestine, and I still wouldn't even be able to be done. So the basic boycott list, just like the surface level things, we know to go protest in front of Disney, the White House, or any big brand like Nestle. Even Amazon should be protested against, right? And people like that, right? Those rich people in power, Tesla. Actually, I don't think that Tesla is actually a huge problem right now. But at the same time, where else is he gonna get his cobalt to make his Tesla? His Tesla cars. So I guess it does apply. It applies to any really big company, because I honestly believe that there are no good billionaires. Even Jay-Z and Beyonce have yet to speak up about Palestine. Yet people who have no money, people who are scraping by, just to live in a place that is using their taxes to murder people? We are not afraid to speak up, but the rich people are. The people who can make a difference refuse to do so. The owner of Starbucks claimed that our stance was clear. We stand with humanity. In outreach in response to boycotting of Starbucks. And I see classmates in front of me, and I get so disgusted and uncomfortable to see classmates in front of me. I don't say friends because I'm not their friends. I might be cordial with them at times, but I know to not communicate with these people on an even tone or an even level in a way that would keep me as their friend, because I do not want to befriend a person who drinks the blood of dead people. To people who are finding alternatives and going to places like Dunkin', I salute you. I salute you for not going to McDonald's or Burger King or I'm saying, not getting not getting that big old pumpkin spice latte you want, I really do salute you. And also the baristas in Starbucks are just assholes. Like, have you not seen the social media portrayal of them? Like, they're like their own self portrayal. Like, they get so angry when people order some of the baseline things. How could you possibly be mad at somebody that asks you to do your job? But I digress. If you refuse to boycott and or acknowledge the issue, if you refuse to see the issue as for what it is, you are a part of the problem, and you should start looking in the mirror and caring about the death of human lives. I have yet to shed a tear, but my heart aches. I have yet to cry, but I do have anger in my heart. I speak all the time about this. I speak every day. There's not a day that I miss thinking or seeing anything for Palestine. There's not a day where I'm upset or I'm trying to like convince myself to make a video. That's why I'm making a video now, because I just struggled with being able to create a video on this topic. I'm done. Thank you for listening. If you are a human, if you are a human, you know the right thing to do. Have a good day.